I have been trying to convince my husband for 2 years now, we need a sister wife.
My mom craved Arby's roast beef sandwich. She was pregnant.
They kept asking me, like, what's your birthing plan? I was like, get it out.
So what do you have going on right now?
Amanda, is this annoying?
So annoying, but so good.
Is it annoying that I'm chewing on candy while we're podcasting?
I'm sure it's terribly annoying, especially for those with, like, what is that word? Is it misophonia? Or they can't stand it.
Is that a thing? I think these are really yummy. I'm eating a juicy fruit flavored little sucky candy here that was sent to us. It's super fun.
Yeah, what is the...
Meritas? It's yummy.
It is delicious.
So what are you liking these days? You watching a new show? What are you doing?
Yes, where do we start?
I want to watch... Here's things I need to watch. Emily in Paris.
No.
I hear I'm not going to like it, but I feel like I need to know if I like it.
No.
I need to watch things like The Tudors I've never seen.
I do want to see The Tudors. There's this new reality show called Snowflake Mountain. And I'm only one episode in because it is hard to watch, but I am fascinated by this concept. But they take all these kids, or not really kids, they're adults, young adults, that they have tricked with like the idea of like this grand like villa somewhere for a reality show. And they put them in like the wilderness.
So it's like Fire Festival. Like telling them they're going to be in these great villas and they're going to fly on a private jet and then they strand them on an island with a tent and a dirty mattress.
Basically. But there's these two guides who are like, they're like former military guys. And so they are trying to teach them survival skills and like life lessons. And the whole first episode is just these people finding out what's happening to them. And in the middle, these two guys literally blow up all of their luggage.
What?
And they're crying.
Okay, I'm going to check this out. It's called, Snowflake Mountain.
Snowflake Mountain.
That's funny.
And yeah, it's a lot of confessional time, which could definitely be cut, but I can see why they're doing it. I would produce it differently, but there are some pretty funny moments.
Interesting. I'm still, there's some shows that are there any shows you haven't finished? Like I just haven't finished Inventing Anna. So I feel like I know where it's going.
Yeah, you know the story already.
But I feel bad. Like it's like a book. Like I have to finish, I want to finish it.
Yeah.
But I just haven't. So Inventing Anna is one of them. And then, I'm still in Lost. I mean, as we know, that show's not going anywhere.
How deep are you now?
We just got to season 4. We're in season 4 now. And it's getting a little weird. There's something about they're all dead now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. They're dead, but they're not dead. I don't know what's happening.
Oh.
But like they get rid of characters, not in a good way, not in a Game of Thrones way. They get rid of characters and you're like, well, it just felt unfinished.
Did they really go away?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden like little Walt, the little kid, and it's only supposed to have been like a month, and all of a sudden Walt's standing over him saying, get up. And somehow this kid is 3 years older and standing there and telling him that, so I was like, where did this kid, Walt, and his dad, Michael, go? They go off on a boat. Where did they go? What happened to them? Did they get out? Like, they never kind of come back to the episodes. And then all of a sudden, Walt's there talking to someone, and you're like, oh, there's Walt. But it's been like a season that you've been missing him. So I don't know. Anyway, those of you at home that ever watched Lost know, I'm living like 10 years ago.
More like 15.
15. Well, let's
Maybe
talk
more.
about our lovely guest today. I'm super excited because
This episode.
she's a chef.
She is a chef. And
She
not only
knows some stuff.
she knows about life, she knows about cooking.
She is an inspiration for sure. She is a self-described Southern belle with Caribbean roots.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to talk a little bit about her Caribbean roots today, which is super fun. She goes as Chef Jamika.
Of course.
But she's Jamika Pessoa as her full name. And she's a familiar face to those of you who have ever seen The Today Show or GMA or E-Pop Daily or E-Daily Pop, I think it's called. So she's been on every show as like the chef. And she's on, what's it called? The Dish.
The Dish.
No, wait. Is it called The Dish? The Good
Yes,
Dish.
The Good Dish.
The Good Dish.
And it's fabulous.
Yeah, she's been on Wendy Williams, so many fun shows. Anytime she's on a show, she's whipping up some yummy food. I can't wait to ask her about foods. I'm just going to have to, like, when we're done with this podcast, I'm going to have to take her home with me and have her show me some secrets. She's known as a dynamic wife, mother, businesswoman, inspiration. She truly is. Like, after talking to her, she is an inspiration. And Jamika started her career as a marketing executive, but soon pivoted to culinary school and never looked back. She's the co-host of The Good Dish, as we mentioned, and a familiar face just on daytime television in general. Her cooking style is Caribbean heat meets Southern sweet. delicious, right? All that those two things sound fantastic together. I need to try that. I feel like I haven't tried that real. Those like I want to.
You can do it.
I need to go to her house. I
believe
need to
in
be
you.
invited all the time. She gets her inspiration from her grandmother, her bold flavors, and her unexpected twists. And since I'm a person who burns water, I am just wanting to surprise my husband by like getting some little tips, recipes, all that stuff from her. So let's bring her in so she can start telling us all about all the things she binges.
Yes.
Come on in, Jamika. Guys, we are here with Chef Jamika, as you know, right?
Hello.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in today. So you're a Nashville native.
Yes, I've been here almost 3 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm loving it. I've
Longer
been
than
all
me.
over the South, and now I'm in Nashville.
I mean,
And you say Nashville.
Nashville. Well, we have you want to ask her well, I'm going to bring you out some comfy socks because we keep forgetting to give our guests comfy
comfy.
socks. You need some comfy
Shoes
socks.
off?
But she's going to ask you our question about what you call a Nashville
Okay.
person.
Someone who lives in Nashville. Are they a Nashvillian or a Nashvillian?
Nashvillian. Some might be Nashvillians, but I think a Nashvillian would be
It's probably the
appropriate.
technical term, but I think I prefer Nashvillian.
Nashvillian.
It
We think it's
rolls
funny.
better.
There's blue, there's purple. What
Be a
socks you
good
want? There's
human. I think I will put these on. These are like the longest. These are like Ugg boots. Oh my God.
those
they're
are
so
super. Actually,
big
do those
and
might have
puffy.
the little tacky things on the bottom to help you from slipping.
Oh, okay. These are great when you dance in the kitchen. You don't
Yeah.
slip and
There
slide
you
and fall over.
Right.
You would know.
Well, I do spend a lot
gonna
of
have to
time
teach me
in
some-
the kitchen.
I need some kitchen tips because I am a bad cook.
There's no such thing.
Oh no, there is.
No. There's no. I don't believe there's a such thing. We can make you.
It's an
look
art.
like.
It takes practice.
I might need you to come over and do some tutorials
I
with
would
me.
happily do that.
I need some. I mean, you know what I had for breakfast today was like a granola bar. So
Okay. Next time you put it in the air fryer, you toast it up. Get a little more.
Okay.
There's a way to say you've cooked anything. Like,
I need so much help.
come on. It's all smoke and mirrors. You can make it work. As long as you don't kill anybody, you can cook.
I burn water. I have literally had to throw away pots because the first time. Okay, so here, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but when I was first a new mom, I got Jessica Seinfeld's book, the whatever it was about sneaking in vegetables into your kids' food and stuff. So it was all about like meal prepping on Sunday and like kind of cutting up your vegetables and all that stuff. And so I was doing that, but I was boiling the water for my mac and cheese. I was going to make some kind of mac and cheese with veggies. I don't know. And I started boiling the water, got so busy with all the other prep that I then realized that the pot was on fire, like it was smoking. So that pot had to be thrown away. Then I started again, and this time I was like, I'm gonna pay attention. I put the pasta in this time, but I didn't measure any pasta, and I just thought there was like no measurement about how much pasta goes in or how much water. So I filled up the pot with the pasta, did not knowing it expanded. And then it was like popcorn. It like took over the pot, burned to the edges, and that pot had to be thrown away. So I just gave up.
No, it's all perspective. See, you burn the water. You say burn. I say it was blackened. Blackened water. See, it's
water.
There you go. Little Cajun essence there. It's all in perspective. You are not a bad cook. It's all how you talk about it, how you
Ask
think
my
about
kids. I don't know.
it. They're still alive.
They got
so
mad.
you're doing something right. They're alive.
I tried to make popcorn yesterday. I got one of these silicone poppers. I decided I want to make my own popcorn. I don't want like the microwavable stuff anymore at home. And my son is obsessed with popcorn. He eats it like 3 times a day. So I got a silicone thing. I put the stuff in. I put a little avocado spray on it, a little pink Himalayan salt on it. Put that in the microwave, let it pop. Gave it to him. He goes, "Did you make this?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm not eating that then." I was like, "It's popcorn." He's like, "Yeah, but I don't eat what you cook."
How old is he?
9.
Yeah, and guess what? Cook for yourself, little man. Yeah.
Oh, I would love
You
that.
can have an opinion like that, then you cook for yourself.
I would love that. Wait, so tell me, so you're living in the South now, but you grew up where?
I grew up in Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Me too.
There is every time I say Alabama's in the building, no one ever replies. So I am so excited.
I'm here.
We got a few in here.
Bama
My
girls.
husband's one of them, so I feel like I'm
Really?
Alabama
What
by
part of Alabama is yours?
injection. Can I say that? No.
That
You can say it,
I
but
can
it
say it,
doesn't
but
mean
maybe
you
I
should.
should.
one. Yeah, work on a new word for that. But yes, born and raised Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay, the capital.
Yeah, capital city. So yeah, but always been in the South, and then went to college in New Orleans, lived in Atlanta for like way too long. You know how you say, "Oh, I'm gonna move here. It's just gonna be a few years, figure things out."
10 years later.
15
Oh,
years
yep.
later,
Oh, yeah.
it was like, okay, I think we need to finally make that move. And then went to Los Angeles. And then I found Nashville by accident. And it's I don't know if we should be talking about how great it is, because then more people will come.
I know, and it's pretty packed right now.
Oh, yes. We are filled to the brim, people.
We are.
Don't keep coming. But I found it. I did a show out here, and it was like, I think I kind of like this place. And everybody was so great. And everybody that I talked to said, buy something and buy something now.
Right. Yeah.
This was before.
Oh, you got it in a good time.
Oh, yes.
I got it in a bad time. I came about a year after you.
Oh, well, see, we should have
came
known
before
each
the
other.
pandemic then.
Right? 6 months before the pandemic came.
Wow.
So, yeah, we came right in and snuck in and was like, okay, I think we like it here. So, but the people are friendly. The music is great. The food is outstanding. I go to the gym, but like my hips haven't missed a beat. I eat. We have a good old time.
Biscuits and fried chicken has made me, I am not my old self anymore now that I'm living down here.
Just thinking about biscuits.
The biscuits down here are so good, and I can't not have them. It's like, it's insane. And
I need someone to teach me. My grandmother attempted to teach me biscuits, and I used to make them with her. And I sat down to make them. I mean, not sat down. Started to make them not long ago for my family, and they were wretched. And I am a good.
And I was going to get you biscuit stuff for
I
your
don't know
birthday,
what I
but
did.
now Jamika
You
can
did the
help
cold butter?
I did cold butter. I did white lily flour. I did shortening. I did everything that I thought I was supposed to do. I don't know what I did wrong.
We're going to blame the oven and the flour. I don't know. We're not going to blame you. But let me just say this. If you've never had a biscuit with cream cheese folded in, you're missing out on life.
Wait a second. Can you be my secret weapon? My husband hates me because he's from Alabama and he can cook, but he had to learn because I couldn't, and he likes to eat. So if I could surprise him with some homemade
you want
biscuits.
Me to do the hands and do it, girl.
Oh, and then we'll like switch it off and I'll put it in like my tins or something.
I'm telling you, it's going to be so good. You might get pregnant again. I don't know. He's going to be like, baby, these biscuits are amazing. Let me.
Speaking of injection.
Yeah, there you go. Now the word is appropriate. There you go. But yes, cold butter and cream cheese folded in. It makes like the fluffiest. It's like a pound cake meets a biscuit.
So do you use
it's so much lighter and fluffier.
Instead of buttermilk?
You can do the buttermilk too. But
Okay,
it's the cream cheese just adds another dimension of, and it's very subtle. Like, what'd you do to this? Like, that's the question when someone takes, what'd you do? What is this?
I could see that happen.
Don't answer it.
I actually
don't let them know.
cream cheese in my mashed potatoes. That was something my mom taught me when I was young. Like at the holidays, we always added cream cheese. We don't do it normally. I like to, but I know a lot of people don't add cream cheese to their mashed potatoes, but that's a little
because they're missing out.
Like.
They weren't raised properly. They don't know any better. But cream cheese is like my secret weapon. I put that thing in it saves the day. Like I put it in soups, sauces to make them creamy instead of adding like a bunch of whole milk. Put in there. I put
like
it in
full fat cream cheese. We're talking about.
You can do full fat. Sometimes I
not
do
the whipped kind. Not
no, not the spread.
Like the bar.
Stick to. It's got to be in a bar. It's the best thing. Velveeta and cream cheese. The best things.
Velveeta.
Things that'll survive in an apocalypse.
Yes.
There you go. But yeah, I put in if your cakes are dry, like my pound cake, I whip some in there. I put in my pies. You get that crack in the middle of the pie. It saves the pie too.
Wow.
Put some cream cheese in your pie. Cream cheese is the greatest thing on earth. Let's just say.
Yeah, I guess
you
so.
know everything.
I only know
I am
for
a professional
potatoes.
chef, classically trained, and cream cheese is my.
Where did you? So you learned to cook in New Orleans?
No, I learned to cook in Atlanta. I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta, and then I also studied abroad too. So I did a turn in Austria and Italy. Greatest time ever. Food.
Wait, did you
so
do
amazing.
woofing? Because I think we talked about this before. My sister's a chef in Paris. She's 27.
so
She's young,
fancy.
or 25.
Oh, to be 27 in Paris. Oh,
But she was like woofing and making her own camembert and all this. Like,
well, I wasn't that fancy making my own camembert, but I was living it up in. It was so funny. The funniest story. I mean, the food was amazing. The chefs. We had an instructor who pulled up in like a convertible, like a Corvette, and he cooked in leather pants.
Oh.
And he didn't speak a word of English, and I was just sitting there like, I don't know what he's saying, but this is the greatest culinary instructor. He's like, you try, and that's the only thing you can say. You try. I was like, I will eat anything
Yes,
you tell
I will.
me.
I will
and
try.
Who cooks in leather pants? And so
in the heat of Italy too, like by an oven.
But he was the coolest thing ever. And it's so funny. Like, we would go out on culinary tours and go around and eat. And this was the time when Destiny's Child was like the hottest thing ever. So I had braids, and we were out looking, and then I hear some tourists, and I hear Beyonce. And I was like, Beyonce's here? Who is this? They thought I was Beyonce.
I would
It
have
was a
lived
bunch
that
of-
life.
Yeah, it was a bunch of Asian travelers, and I was like, so wait a minute. I was like, they think,
Yes,
let me
I
pose.
am.
All the women who independent. I was So some poor set of travelers, they went back and said, we met Beyonce. And they're like, no, you didn't.
Oh,
you
that's
did
so
not.
funny.
But yes, I was Beyonce in Italy for a week and a half. It was great.
I love that.
Best time of my life.
I love that. Wait, so with like all these cooking shows, so obviously you were on the
Oh gosh, I've done them all.
I know. Well, okay. First of all, you can tell us which one was. Not many people are listening. No, I'm just kidding.
You kidding me? They're all listening.
Which one was your like favorite to be on?
Favorite to be on?
Like, was there one that was more fun, or they let you do more crazy recipes, or?
It depends on the network. I will say the most fun I've had is doing the talk show, The Good Dish, because it was just like they would just have fun, say whatever. When you're kind of on other networks, they're like, can we kind of stick to this? And I find it's a lot of, it's textures and this, when I'm a judge, that really didn't work for me. I needed more depth and a little more innovation. Like I just have a whole script. You pull out all the words and the textures and the colors and all that. I will say the not so fun one was when I was on Chopped Junior. The kids were beautiful, but God, what they put together. One young man, I'm pretty sure he's moved on and he's now just the most amazing chef. But he did orange soda and ricotta cheese in a taco and whipped it in a fish taco. So I was like,
you lost me with the fish.
I was like,
I
got to eat this, and I got to say something nice about it because I can't crush this little man's dreams in front of me. And he and he's describing it. So I whipped the orange soda in and the ricotta cheese. And I was like, I'm throwing up in my mouth right now. And fish on top of it. So
see, now I'm like a 5-year-old. That actually sounds good to me, minus the fish part.
Yeah, you should have been that judge. And but I will say when I judge, I'm like the Paula Abdul of judges. If I hate what you made, I'm not going to tell you that because I'm not there to crush your life. But I will say, look at you in your little apron. You just look like a little rock star. I just love your personality and you shine. So yeah, if
you say like things like so inventive or you're so creative.
You are a superstar. Like I don't do this again, but I know that you have something great up your sleeve to come. Like you are, like I just big them up because I'm like, I want them to keep cooking, but just don't cook this again. Don't ever do this in front of me again.
I love it. You're so sweet.
So,
I like that there's someone being nice out there.
Well, no, because I've done the competition shows, and I mean, it really sinks into your head. I mean, the trolls that you get on the internet, imagine 3 people sitting in front of you telling you that to your face. Like, that is the kind of, like, what was that? This is horrible. The texture's off. What were you thinking? Did you, like, you get those things, and some make it to the show and some don't. So a lot of times I was competing. I was like, should I keep doing this? And then you win the challenge. So it's they just play with you. They have to tell you good things. They have to tell you bad things. That's the name of the game. So I enjoy sitting on the other side of the table versus having to sweat it out.
So what's your favorite show to watch then, like cooking shows?
It's tough because I know the secrets now.
Yeah. So that's, I'm wondering which ones feel more authentic to you and which ones are full of crap.
I won't call names, but sometimes you can tell. Like, I don't even have to watch where they're cooking. The sadder stories, it's like, I want to win this money so that I can go back to the orphanage where I came from and give the money back to... I was like, this man's going to win. I don't even care what he makes. This story, you have to let him win this. So it's...
Well, that's so... have you watched like all the seasons of MasterChef by any chance or no?
Not all of them, but I can kind of weave in and it's like,
So my stepdad was a contestant. I think it was like season 9.
Really?
He was known as the Silver Fox. He was the older gentleman from Malibu who created Malibu Sunshine Donuts.
Ooh.
And he was hated by the cast, by the audience. But because of that reason, he was like the villain. Well, because they always said that because my mother was a producer, so he was a stay-at-home dad.
Oh, okay.
And he was from Malibu, and he was a little fancy. I mean, he acts fancy. He's actually from an orphanage in New York, believe it or not. But
he should have told that story.
Maybe, I don't know that he likes to tell that story, but that's like his backstory is actually like a pretty sad upbringing. But then, he's doing all right for himself, and so they picked on him ruthlessly and on the show. And so, but it's interesting because we got to have him on because he's a hoot.
I want the donuts.
So he makes these great donuts. But and his friends went on to do great things. They have great restaurants all around the country, really. And I think one of them, Scottish Francis, is one of them. I think he makes donuts in Brooklyn or something now. But he's well known now for being a contestant on MasterChef. But you knew he wasn't going to win because he's like looked at as the spoiled brat on the show.
But you have to I look at shows now objectively, like when people watch at home and they're like, why would they keep them on? That was terrible. Like, you have to tell a story.
Of course.
And so you have to have those ebbs and flows, and that person that everyone's rooting for, that person that you kind of love to hate. Like, that's just a part of the game, and it's not personal. And I realized that when I did my first big time show, I guess, was Next Food Network Star back in 2009. And
I love that show.
I loved it too till I did it, because let me tell you,
That's how I feel about a lot of things.
All right, let's dig in here.
well, yeah, because I am nowhere near a contract, so I can tell you all the things. But it took such a mental toll, because like I had to like sit for 3 months and just kind of get my head together, because you go through so many things. It's like they take you to a secluded place. Like when I tell the story, it sounded like I was...
This is what I complain about with Dancing with the Stars. It's the production moments, right? And now that you've done a lot of them, you understand like the production side of it?
I understand, but when you tell the story, it sounds like someone's kidnapped you, because they leave you, they have you in this weird house and security is outside the door. They take you in a van and all the windows are blacked out. You don't know where you're going. They don't tell you anything. They just drop you off. You show up and then you see a judge and say, you're going to cook. Time starts now in 30 minutes. I'm like, wait, where the hell am I? What am I doing? Like,
That's terrifying.
it sounds like maybe that should be a concept of a real show. You just get someone throws you in a van,
Kidnapped.
puts a bag over your head,
We just
and
call
then
it kidnapped. Find your,
Kidnapped in
instead
the
of like
kitchen.
Amazing Race, it's like Find Your Way Home. Like
the captive kitchen.
captive
kitchen. You have to cook your way
cook
back
something
home.
and then you get to leave, but you got to find your way home at the end.
Impress us.
Okay,
Or
we need.
else.
All right, we need a treatment for this, lady. I think we're going.
Ooh,
somewhere with
I know.
this.
Wait, the food still has to be hot by the time you get home to feed it to your family. So you got to find your way home quickly.
Good luck. You have no idea where you
Oh
are.
my god! But yeah, so it's that. So it took a minute for me just to kind of figure out who I am. I'm okay, and then you don't know how the edit's going to go, and you got to wait.
Yeah.
Like you film that so far in advance, and you got to sit there quiet. You don't know how the editing gods are going to play you out.
Bizarre, right?
Oh gosh,
all
they
bizarre.
really get to your head. So I have compassion for people that do them on any level. And the producers, they have a job too. They have to tell a story. So you gotta. It's the name of the game. When you sign up for it, I wasn't fully aware of everything
They're
I was signing
trying
up
to
for.
get you. Like I did a racing show called The Race in the UK where they put us on 2 buses on the Silverstone racetrack in the middle of the UK, or like outside of London, and we had to stay on this racetrack and race a different car every day. But they put women on one bus and men on the other, and we're supposed to be women versus the men. Like our scores were supposed to total up, and did the women win more than the men? The men all had racing experience. The women didn't. But they put you on that bus, and they don't let you talk to your family, except that I was allowed an hour a day with my son, who was only like 6 months old at the time. So I wouldn't do the show unless they gave me an hour a day with him.
Smart.
And so, but no one else was allowed. You're not allowed any outside contact. So
You don't know
drive
anything
you
that's
crazy.
going on.
You're with these strangers, and they put personalities together.
And then they pitch you. The producer is your only friend, really.
Yeah.
And you really do forget the cameras are there. And you're like, so, well, such and such, she was talking about you today. How do you feel about that? And they're like,
And you're
so,
tired, and they
they know what they're doing. I understand they have a job to do, but yes, they take your wallet, they take your
there's no way
phone,
to vent to
you know-
anyone, like call a friend and be like,
and
oh,
you
I can't stand
vent
this
to the
person.
competitor because she's coming to get you tomorrow in the kitchen. So it's like, yeah, I don't miss that world. I don't miss that life.
So you wouldn't do Celebrity Big Brother is what you're saying.
I thought about it though, but I don't know if I'm malicious enough to kind of.
I know, I don't.
I can't
There's
keep
like
a
a whole
secret.
game there, I
I'm a
don't get.
terrible liar. I would just be like, I'm trying to get you out the house. So I'm just letting you know.
I like you, but I don't like you enough.
Yeah, I need this money, so I'm just gonna take you. Like I'm not that person, but yeah, I've thought about it though.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'll have to give me some tips on how
No, I
to
don't
really.
And I don't even know that show. I feel like you have to, and we have some friends
But
that
you've
have
done so
it.
many shows. I was so naive. I didn't
They're
realize.
gonna kick you off if you're not interesting enough. So if you're not mean, they're gonna kick you off. And if you're not a favorite, they're gonna that's what happened. I feel like
Or
with
I
me
can
with
just,
Dancing with the
like,
Stars.
Or if you walk around in a bikini all day, they'll keep you too. I'll do some crunches and maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
That'll be my ploy. I'll just
some
walk around.
squats.
I'll just
Put
cook
the
in a
thong right
bikini
up the
all day.
butt.
That's
There
how
you
I'll
go.
stay on the
I love it.
Now, I'm all for ruin all the shows for me except for Great British Bake Off. I love that show. You can't ruin that one for me.
No, I never will.
Okay, thank you.
I never will. I watch it. I imitate the accents on the show.
good.
I love doing impersonating accents. Like that's my
That
thing.
is that seems to be the favorite of all the
I don't know
baking shows
why.
at least. Yeah.
I adore it. How Hollywood looks into your soul.
I did an episode of one of Ramsey's shows. I guess it was Hell's Kitchen in Vegas. We shot it in like my sister was pregnant, 2019, I think it was. And of course, we shot it in like 2018 and my sister was pregnant. the show came out in the middle of the pandemic. People were like, well, you're not wearing a mask. Well, why are you in that busy restaurant? And I was like, my sister had that baby and it just turned a year old. Like, it had taken so long for that show to come out that people thought I was like
And you
breaking all
can't talk
COVID
about
rules.
it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
didn't know anything about it. All I knew was I was sitting there and they were feeding me. Like, I literally wasn't
like,
part
I'm
of it.
just here for the free food. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I had to play a chef on my last show on Netflix called No Good Nick, and I had to play a chef. So I got a knife skills course.
Oh,
just
good.
one day. Just one day.
I can't stand when I see shows and I'm like, what? No one taught her. You don't even hold a knife like that. You don't even do that.
I
like,
hope I
chefs
held
don't
the
do
knife
that.
right. Like, I tried to really pay attention to it, but I'm also trying to remember my lines, keep my neck up so I don't have fat chin. Like, all these things.
The things that people don't realize that we have to think
Be
about.
funny, and not cut my finger off. But yeah, I remember like I better look like I like to look like I know what I'm doing. Like, I can't say when someone's holding a guitar and they got their fingers wrapped all the way around the neck, they're not playing. Like I think Will Ferrell does that a lot.
They just throw you out there. So at least you were prepared.
I tried. I did one day, and then I did have to learn how to make farfalle. Me and the little girl who played Nick had to be making pasta, so I did take a pasta course on how to make handmade pasta.
Okay. Look at you being professional.
I can't remember it, but
preparing for your
She
characters.
can't cook.
I know, right?
Just has professional experience.
I just know how to. This is the thing about actors. Like, this is why actors think they know everything, because we learn a little bit about everything, right? If you have to play a lawyer, you have to play a doctor. There's certain terminology. There's certain things you know how to do. Maybe you know how to hold a scalpel. Maybe you know how to, say I object, whatever it is, right? A little bit. I know how to race car drive a little bit. I know how to dance a little bit. I know how to play the flute a little bit. Like, I know how to hold a knife.
You have an opinion about everything.
I
So
think
in
I know
my
everything.
professional opinion, as a race car driver for 42 minutes, I would say
I say you have to be full throttle by the apex and hug that turn.
So what do you have going on right now?
oh goodness. This was, I think, the first week where I was like, wait a minute, I'm still at home? Because I travel, I'm on a plane a lot doing, if it's not press, then doing cooking shows and just all kinds of things. So right now, the daytime talk show, The Good Dish, is streaming now on Freevee.
Yes.
So that's really exciting because when we were out, season 1 was on syndication. So some of the country saw it. It depends on where I am. People recognize me, or other parts of town where I'm like, it didn't show in Detroit. I could pull my ball cap down. Nobody will know who I am. I can go in the Target. No one will recognize me. It's okay. So yeah, so we're streaming now so everyone can see that. I'm working on some other things I can't really talk about.
That's all right.
Yet. You know how that is. But
We share a manager, so I can find out from him.
He'll give you all. But I'm in a different space in my career because I've been a chef now almost 2 decades. So I've been in the kitchen for a really long time. And I've done so many things. And I feel like my checklist, my bucket list, I wanted to do this. I've done it all.
Yeah.
So where I am now is like I am open to what's new and what's next. So it's like, I'm like, well, I've been in TV for so long, maybe I'll try acting. And I'm having fun with that. I've started playing the guitar. I'm taking guitar lessons because I want to know what else I'm good at outside of cooking.
Yeah.
Cooking will always be there. That's my love. It's what I do, but it's like, what else can I do? Let me test my knowledge out. Let me see what else creatively I can come up with. So that's where I am now. I'm open to receiving what is to come next.
That's awesome.
Excellent. You're like on a new
Period of
like
self-discovery.
I know.
Yeah.
And then guitar
Eat, pray,
playing
love.
chef, I could be whisking and guitar playing. That might be the new hot TikTok. I don't know what might
look
be.
at you. I love it.
I
don't
love
know.
this.
But I'm open. I feel like a lot of people, they stay in their career. They're in one space. This is what I know. This is where I'm comfortable. It's like, try it.
Yeah.
What if you still know what you know? I can always go back to the kitchen if it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you got to eat every day anyway.
that is true.
What is your favorite meal to make? I just need to know because I need something to make.
She's like, what are you cooking tonight? So
What are you
that I
making
can
dinner?
come
That I can bring something pretend is mine.
What is my favorite meal to make? This is going to sound like a drag of an answer, but it is true, and I'll explain it so maybe you'll understand. One of my favorite things to make is soup.
Oh.
Boring as hell, but check it. Soup, life is like soup. It takes time. It takes patience. You have to let it simmer. You can't boil. You can't cook it too fast. You can't move it. You got to move it at the pace that it needs to go. You develop flavors. You start it from the ground up and you build. So for me, I psychologically align everything in my life with soup. And at the end of it, you take these scraps, you take what you have, and you make something amazing.
I want to make soup. I feel like
that's
soup
what
would
I'm
be
saying.
good. Yeah.
And it's instinctual. It's like, okay, you got to taste it here. How would this? You go by the smells, the textures, the herb. People just like, because soup comes in a can, you don't think anything about it. But for me, it is my real test of how do I build flavors? How do I?
This is okay.
It's a process.
I want to do this.
So that's what I'm
because
saying.
I love soup and there's nowhere to get soup. Why can't I go to a place and pick soup?
If you look at my Google history, like I will Google soup near me because I really love. This is such a horrible answer, but I love soup. Of course, you were looking like, so where's she eating? Where's the hottest, cool places? Soup it's a mind thing for me.
Okay, what is your go-to place in Nashville? I need to know for soup, or 3 top places.
Probably a Thai restaurant because there's so many levels.
Like a Tom Kha Kai?
Yes, there's so like in every bite
Eastern
there's something
Peak.
different.
Have you had theirs?
Eastern Peak?
Ooh, no. See, that's the thing. I'm in Nashville for years now, but I haven't really been outside yet.
Yeah.
Because pandemic, I get pregnant. Like, you can't, all the best restaurants don't open until 5 o'clock. I'm not taking the...
Have you been to the Optimist?
I'm going to bed at 5 o'clock, thank you.
Exactly. I'm tired by 5 o'clock.
Tell my 16-year-old that last night was like, if you want to watch a movie with me, I'll be home at 10. I'm like, no. What? You want to watch a
awake
movie
at
with
10?
me? You be home at 9.
What kind of human are you?
16? I'm not ready for 16. I
Wait,
got
so what-
5 and 1.5. I'm not ready for 16.
Oh, no.
so fun.
I always say the first 5 years go really slow, and then after that it flies.
Really?
Next thing you know, they're driving, and you're like, where'd you go?
Oh, jeez. Okay, strap in. All
I
right,
got
I'm ready.
6-year-old twins and a
Oh,
9-year-old.
look at you.
And
God bless you. Twins.
they're great.
She likes her kids. It's weird.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, let me talk to me about that. Because sometimes she's like, and it's so hard to yell at them because they have your face. And it's like, oh, I just want to strangle you, but you're
God
so
knew
cute.
what he was doing, making them
Look
cute.
at my face.
Making them cute.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
even the magical ones though, they'll grate on your nerves every once in a while. But we've just graduated out of the little kid life, you know, and you're right on the cusp with one of them. Okay. But now,
teen years are challenging, but it's also it's like what you're talking about, like a discovery phase of like a new phase of like you can talk to them on a different level. You can share movies and songs with them that maybe you couldn't before. Like,
well, and that's what I'm starting to discover. Like, I'm a creative person. My kids are creatively wired, and we're enjoying some of the same things for the first time. Well, that's cool. And so it's been a really fun summer for us for that kind of thing.
See, I am preparing for conversations because I feel like now as a parent looking at what my parents did, I feel like they didn't have enough conversations with me.
do you know what's funny? My 16-year-old literally said that to me last night. He wanted to go to his friend's house for dinner. He wouldn't come spend time with me. And he said, but they talk in a way that we don't. And I was like, well, tell me how. Like, how can we bring up a topic that they talked about? But he loves the conversations he has.
And it's real conversations because it's like you tell your kid, put your money in your piggy bank, but do you really tell them about wealth and how to save and how to, like my parents you just kind of throw your kid out there and you hope they swim. When it comes to like real relationships, you hope they figure it out, but are you really giving them the information about interacting with other people, even about themselves? I didn't have a real conversation with my mom about my body, and my mom was a pediatrician. But
wow.
She never.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, my mother's Caribbean, so picture a Caribbean doctor, and she would just come home. She would never really tell us about relationships and sex. She'd be like, "This boy come in me office today. He have gonorrhea. The boys are nasty. Don't touch the boys."
She used the fear factor on you.
So I was just like, all boys have gonorrhea? What do I do? She just gave us the horror stories, but never told me, like, this is what this is, and your body does this.
She didn't give you the book Our Bodies Ourselves like some hippie women did on the play I was doing?
She did not break. It was the horror
I still have it if you want to read it. I
need to read from.
I have a 1970s.
I'm 43. I'm still learning things like, whoa, I didn't know my body could do that either. But like, I'm like thinking about the conversations that I need to have with my girls about being girls and about like the real conversations.
See, that's
and
why
not
I
just
wish I
throw
had
them out
girls
there.
so I could have conversations.
You can have them. I'll give them to you.
I feel like I got all these boys, and I feel like I've got a wealth of knowledge I want to share, and I can't share it. Like they won't listen. First of all, they don't want to listen about
my daughters-in-laws.
I know they don't want to hear about my wedding. They don't care about my dress that's been wrapped away for 19 years now. They don't care about they're like, we don't care how you and Dad met. We don't care. Like the little one actually is kind of like, Mom, tell me about. Thank God, but I think that's going to change someday
They need to know about that relationship so that they can learn how relationships work and how to communicate in relationships. Like you're successful with your husband, like even if they don't want to hear about it, they'll see it. So they're still picking up.
Early on, you have to like kiss your husband in front of them often, like just as like a sign of like we are,
How to show affection.
Show- We have- yes, we
because
have-
They don't pick. If you don't open them up to that, you assume that they will know, and then they come home and they bring this jerk of a guy, and you're like, why'd you bring him home? You didn't tell me what to do with.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't tell me what to look for. You just told me every boy had gonorrhea. You didn't tell me that the ones were clean and what to bring home and what to look for. So
This one said he didn't, Mom.
So now I'm really thinking about the conversations and marking them, and I'm talking to moms like, how do we say this? What do we do? Like the real conversations that you're gonna have to have.
My boy is my oldest, and so bless him, he's the guinny pig. There's so many things that he's going to go
My
through.
sister always says the burnt pancake. The first one's always the burnt pancake.
It's so I've tried with him on several levels, and he's 9, so we're kind of getting to that point where we really do need to have some grown-up conversations and things. But I've already got it mapped out for my girls, because I think of all the things that I don't
People said or didn't say to
yes,
you.
and I don't want them to
Yeah.
be taboo for them. And
There's some things women never heard about. I never learned the proper things about giving birth. Movies, TV shows don't make it right. That's not real.
No.
And I feel like even the birthing classes nobody really tells you how it's going to be. I feel like, and until you're deep in
Really prepare? Because I
No.
remember they kept asking me what's your birthing plan? I was like, get it out. What is?
Yes,
I need
hurry
a plan
up,
for
make
that?
sure it's
Make it
alive
not
and
hurt
healthy.
But even
No,
before that,
But things like in the movies, this is what drives me crazy. There's only been a
Movies.
few, maybe Handmaid's Tale is the only one I've ever seen that really does it, where when you're in labor, by the way, for those at home that haven't had babies yet, it's not that your water breaks and all of a sudden you have a contraction and then the baby comes. Your water might not break. It might break a day early. It doesn't really mean the baby's coming. But also the labor pains that it's 1 minute of labor pains and then maybe 5 minutes of not. And I don't think anyone really understands. They don't really tell you that. And also another thing I'm just starting to experience is going to be menopause. Nobody talked about the proper things. I just read in a book that perimenopause lasts 10 years, can last up to 10 years. And then menopause happens kind of quickly. But it's the perimenopause that's the hot flashes and all this other stuff.
Well,
I didn't know
they'll
that.
tell you, and you're walking around why do I feel like I'm being dipped in hot oil? That's what I remember saying. And my doctor was like, "Oh, honey, let me tell you where you are." I was like, but yeah, no
things
one.
we don't, and so
we
you
don't
guys get
have
to
the conversation.
You get to share that with your daughters.
Have a conversation about.
I'm going to have daughters-in-law that hopefully like me, so I can have that conversation.
Well, have the conversation. If they'll listen, have them with the boys, because they still need to understand what
true.
the girls are going through.
That's true.
That's the thing. We assume that conversation should only be for boys and only be for girls. Have it regardless.
Yeah, that's true.
They need to talk about it.
So Turning Red, that new Pixar movie that came
Oh,
out
I haven't
this
seen
year,
it. Yeah.
I loved that movie because, and granted, I didn't know what we were getting into when we turned it on. We just knew it was a new Pixar movie. But at the end, my son is not necessarily well versed in what happens, but it opened the door for me to be able to have that conversation with him in a completely non-awkward way.
But it's also funny because different kids want different information. My oldest one wants to know nothing about his body, female body, anything. He's like, please don't, la, 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 right? Puts his fingers in his ears. The middle one was kind of like, hey, Mom, can you tell me how the baby gets in there? So he wanted a little bit of information, but then he was
curious.
like, enough. That's enough. And the little one is like, tell me about your period. They're all so different. And I don't know if I don't think I did anything different with them, but they're some of them. And my brother, God bless him, was raised with 3 older sisters and 4 younger. So or it's the other way around. No. He had, 3 older, 4 younger. And the guy is the least afraid to go buy tampons. He knows exactly. He's like, do you need super or are you good with a, petite? What are we talking about here?
It's not that big of a thing. But school the youngest one, he'll teach them.
Exactly.
Yeah, they'll come to him and say, so what did Mom tell you about periods? So
and then of course the whole thing about respecting women and, making sure we raise good little boys to be great men.
If you really sit down and think, there's so many conversations you have to have. It's overwhelming to me. Well,
and then you go, did I have that conversation? Did I do it right? Should I have, with my son turning 16 and stuff, I was like, I think we need to have some talks that I think we had, but maybe we need more talks. And luckily, once he started driving and his hands were on the wheel and he couldn't turn up the radio or leave the vehicle, he was driving and he was just like, why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about this? But I had a captive audience. So it's kind of nice to be able to.
I just don't want to be her full topic of conversation in therapy. I don't want to.
Right.
That's my goal. I just don't want to be everything that
mom.
she did.
It's always mom.
Moms. Everything goes back to the mom.
Yep.
It's my mom's reason. This is the reason I'm like this.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be her topic.
That's the other discussion too, though, that's so important. Is I want my kids to know, please go to therapy.
Yeah.
Know that now.
It's okay to talk to people.
Plan to go to therapy.
Yeah. Tell people how you're feeling. Yeah.
That's why these podcasts are beneficial, because I'm learning and I'm
Cover it
listening
all.
to yes.
From food to periods.
I know. We've talked about cream cheese. We talked about gonorrhea. Now this show has all the topics.
Well, we haven't
I
talked
said.
about yet. What are you into? What are you binging?
Yeah, what
Yes.
are you
What am I
besides
binging?
food, obviously.
I won't say I'm binging. It's what am I snacking on in life?
Yeah, what are you absorbing?
Also, life coach. Can we add that to your next list of possibilities?
You sound like a friend of mine. He was like, so when are you gonna put it out there, do the motivational talks, do the things.
TED Talk by Jamika.
do the TED
because I'm
Talks.
here for it.
Well, I live and I just tell people what I've observed, because I went through this phase when I was in my 20s. I was trying to be somebody else. I didn't know who, but I wasn't really sure who I was. So I was just like,
I still don't know. I'm like, do I want to be goth or do I just want to be a jean and t-shirt girl? Or maybe I want to be a hippie. I don't know.
That's the thing now. You can be all of those things.
And you know what? Day
realize
by day
that
I
day
am.
by day you can be, but you have a comfort level and a confidence that you can do that. You're starting out, you don't have that.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
You just live and you're like, you know what? I don't feel like doing that today and I don't have to. But all right, so back to the original question.
Yes, sorry.
What am I snacking on? All right, musically, I will say I'm into new Beyonce song. Break My
Oh,
Soul.
yes.
I am releasing my wiggle. I love
What's
the
the song called?
It's You Won't Break My Soul.
Oh.
You won't break, but I use it as you got to listen to it. And I don't just listen to a song. I put it on repeat. I absorb it into my pores. I take it all in. So yes, it is now my mantra now. I don't care what you say to me. You cut me off in traffic, you won't break my soul. My husband was like, did you wash my gym shorts? I was like, you will not break my soul. Doesn't matter what you say to me. You won't break my soul. So yes, it is that type of song for
Love
me.
it.
So yeah, I'm in Lizzo. I'm loving where she is.
I'm loving Lizzo. I was actually working the other day. I had to work on my computer, and I just asked Alexa to play Lizzo, and I was just like, I don't think I see. My problem with music these days is I don't listen to a whole album or anything anymore, so I don't know who sings what. I don't think I'd be able to tell Lizzo
artists,
from
man.
Beyonce.
I watch award shows who is that? What is that? What am I saying?
So not up on pop culture, especially in music. Music's never been a big thing for me, but it's funny because I listened to Lizzo the other day working, and I was like, oh,
It
this
is so
great.
It's yes.
She's so encouraging,
So
too.
fun. Yeah.
I get pumped up by Lizzo. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Because it's
I
about
need it.
damn time.
There
Yes.
you go. There you go. And let me see. What am I? Okay, TV wise, I'm on this show, and I'm going to convince the world that everybody needs to be on this too.
Oh.
Seeking Sister Wives. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay.
But we
hang
want to
on.
be sister
Let
wives,
me-
so that makes
okay,
sense.
see, that's what I'm saying. Let me school
on,
everybody.
let me get my
Got
notebook out.
into it. I have been trying to convince my husband for 2 years now. We need a sister wife, okay?
Yes.
And early 30s, I'm like, why would I ever want another woman to be with my man? You turn 40 and have 2 kids, you realize
yeah.
I need some damn help
We need
around
the
here.
village.
We
Yeah.
need some help. Don't hire a nanny. Get a sister wife, okay? And you get a young one so she can do all. She's excited about doing everything. I can cook dinner. I can go run an empire, and I know that my children are cared for.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can sleep in the bed by myself. It's your night tonight, honey. You take it. I'm laying all it. Sister wives are the
Starfished
greatest.
across the bed. Everyone's satisfied. It's
Exactly.
great.
Everyone's bellies are full. Everybody's satisfied, and I get to sleep that. Sister wives. So I'm watching the show.
Seeking sister wives.
Seeking
That's
Sister
amazing.
Wives.
What a great title.
It's on TLC. The premise of the show is they're already a poly family, and they're looking to add to the family. So some have 2 wives. They're looking to add a 3rd. One is, so they're kind of dating. They all meet.
Is it documentary? Is it or
Reality?
real reality?
It's reality.
This is a real family. This isn't
It's real people.
scripted.
No. Well, I mean, is any reality?
Yeah,
real?
no, I know. It's hard to tell. But it's not like, so I've been watching Pray and Obey, Stay Sweet, Keep Sweet, Stay and Obey, and it's basically about the Mormon fundamentalists. And so it's the polygamists and sort of
Yeah,
how it
but-
kind of took a right turn. And,
But not all of these are religious based. Not all of them are Mormons. So it's
Okay.
but it's unscripted, but it's just kind of you watch them date. They all find these women on the internet. I'm like, I'm not on the internet in these poly chat rooms. Maybe I need to jump into them. I'm missing out. I don't know. I need to see what they're
see,
talking
I just
about.
want all of us to have a commune where we have the houses all around.
Yes, by one giant plot of land.
Yep.
And then I'm like, I need some flour. Let me walk over to Amanda's house. Let me go over here. Like, you
Like
know,
have a barn in the middle where everybody can congregate,
general
meet, the
meeting
kids
area.
can play, and then all the houses, like Backyardigans. You know the TV show Backyardigans?
yes.
Like all the backyards touch, all the kids can run out and play.
Like big
and
love without the
Okay.
marriage.
Big love without the marriage.
All right,
Thank
call a realtor. We need to find this plot of land and start building because you need help.
Yeah.
You don't realize it because it's so, you can't be, I'm realizing this now. Before I was like, no, I'm going to be everything to my husband and I'm going to figure this out and I am every woman. You can't be.
No.
You can't
Whitney
be.
had it wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Shaka, you did too. You can't be every woman all the time and everything to everybody and still stay sane for yourself.
Yeah.
You need help. So sister wives, that is.
I like that.
That's the
All
answer
right.
to the secret. You're
Are
looking.
are you a big reader? Do you read?
I used to be the reader and the highlighter and the folding the pages. Now I just fall asleep in the book. So I've started listening to the books.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm working on that a little bit. I can read if I'm really into the book, but I find that the audiobooks help a lot when I feel like it's going to be a book that's going to take a little.
Yeah, and then you can kind of pause them. I write my notes, and then reading makes me hungry too. So if I read late at night, then I'm like, why am I in the kitchen? I'm distracted because then I'm like, okay, now I'm eating cookie dough. I was supposed to be reading chapter
Cookie
4.
dough.
That's
You
my 10
homemade
p.m.
cookie
cereal
dough, or is
call
it
is
like-
usually post-reading.
Is it like straight out of the Pillsbury container or Nestle?
Well, no, there's one now. It's ice cream by Ben & Jerry's. They got the cookie dough in the middle,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
the ice cream is around it. So it's like a 2-for-1.
Somebody also does. Maybe it's Ben & Jerry's. They do like the
bites.
cookie dough bite. So you take them straight out of the bag. The problem is my kids dump that in their mouth and it's gone in a second. And it's not cheap.
Because you don't have secret hiding places in your freezer. So, write that note down.
No,
You better
secret
have
hiding place in
you
the
better-
freezer.
Yes,
You
put
dump
it.
out a bag of broccoli,
See, she knows.
whatever you want in it.
There you go.
I never thought of that.
No one's ever going to look in there. The vegetable crisper
Secret
drawer. Nobody
hiding
ever really looks in there either. Like
Behind
my
the
husband.
kale, right?
No, my husband is not looking in the vegetable drawer. Do you know how many things I hide in there? He's not listening. You know how many things I hide in the vegetable drawer?
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
But see, this will be trouble for me. I'm trying to I'm always like, oh, they ate it all. I'm trying to be more okay with that. They ate all the Girl Scout cookies or they ate all the Cadbury cream eggs or the things I
Let me tell
do
you something.
stash.
Perimenopause, you need something or else you will turn into the Hulk at like 10:30. I need chocolates.
So turmeric tea is not going
So
to
yes,
cut
just
it.
put little nibbles of things, hide them around in little
right.
places.
I have you know what I saved actually from last Mother's Day? I still have those chocolate covered cherries with the cordial in the middle like that. They've been sitting there forever. Do you know how much stuff I've shoved in my mouth, but I will not eat those because I just think they're so bad for me but I'm like, I am
That's
waiting.
the limit.
I am waiting.
Covered cherry is the
Now
limit.
you have standards when it comes.
But I'll eat a case of pretzels, but then I won't have the freaking one cherry that I really want. Yeah,
That's sad.
I know. I
I'm
punish
sad for your
myself.
belly.
I punish myself in weird ways.
Go home and eat the chocolate covered
I'm
cherry.
gonna go home and eat the chocolate
deserve
covered
it.
cherry
Thank
today.
you.
I totally am.
I mean, if it was for Mother's Day, it's a little old now. But
It's a little.
I mean,
Well, no, it was Mother's Day last year,
oh girl.
2021.
Might not eat the
Those
cherry.
things. I think those things last like
I'll get you some
Velveeta
fresh
last
cherries.
forever.
Yeah, get her some. I don't know if that's what you want to take the adventure on is some year-old chocolate.
Might be a real ride.
Good point. Hey,
Might
maybe
lose some weight.
It might keep me from ever. It might be a good food aversion. I might never eat those again.
The things we do to ourselves.
So, Melissa, I'm so
Yeah.
excited for you. You've been really working hard on getting your immune system up and going really well and getting your body in shape. What's your secret weapon now?
Well, I've been using AG1. Do you know AG1?
I have heard of this.
It's made by Athletic Greens. It's great. It tastes great. You do a scoop. Oh, no, because I know those veggie things can be not so tasty. This one is pretty yum.
What do
You
you do?
put a scoop in your water in the morning and it, oh my gosh, it helps in so many ways.
So tell me what it's doing for you.
So with one scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, all kinds of good stuff, right? It's lifestyle friendly. You can eat it when you're keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, all the things.
So it's good for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it costs less than $3 a day. So you're investing in your health and it's cheaper than that cold brew habit.
And I love this. They're sustainable too. For every purchase, they donate to organizations helping to get nutritious food to kids in need, including No Kid Hungry here in the U.S.
That's
and
amazing.
Yeah, they do climate neutral, certified, all that good stuff.
That is amazing. So right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills or supplements to look out for your health.
Yeah, and to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/WWB.
Again, that's athleticgreens.com/WWB to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Thank you, Athletic Greens, for supporting What Women Binge. We have some questions we got to ask you. Every third season guest has to answer these same questions. No pressure, though.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. All right. Is there a movie that you would watch with commercials?
Oh, that's easy. Forrest Gump.
Oh.
Well, just shot in Alabama. So, I mean, Alabama.
Greenbow.
Yes.
Alabama.
And I spin the commercials doing the voice. So you got to imitate all the lines.
Of course.
Lieutenant Diane, you've got no legs. So yes, I could watch
We're
that.
going to have
and talk
Lieutenant Dan
through.
on this show in a few weeks.
Are you kidding me?
Or maybe next week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You want to come back and hang?
Hell
come
yeah,
hang.
I'm going
Come
to
on.
walk right in and just stare
Mr.
out
Gary
on the screen
Sinise.
like, Lieutenant, I stared at Lieutenant Diane.
Yeah. He's awesome.
Got new legs.
That's such a good movie.
yeah,
I didn't appreciate it when it came out, mainly because it was I've said this before, but up against Pulp Fiction, and Pulp Fiction was such a thing for me. I mean, I still have a teddy bear named Marcellus Wallace, but that I sleep with still since I was 16.
But do you watch Pulp Fiction on like a random Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock?
No, that's the thing. I won't watch Pulp Fiction anymore.
Forrest Gump.
I will now watch Forrest Gump. That has become my long term. Whereas Pulp Fiction, I can't wait till my kids are old enough to watch it. But they'll have to be like 30. I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it when I was like 16, but I can't let them watch that.
They're not ready. Don't do that to the babies. They're not ready.
Is there a book that you read super fast?
Listen to super fast. Viola Davis's biography. It was outstanding. I watched. Oprah had talked about it, and she did an interview. I think it was on Netflix, if Oprah
this a
says
recent book?
Yes,
Must be.
It came out.
If Oprah says it, it is
If Oprah
word.
says it, and she's like, from the opening chapter, I was hooked, and I was like, what?
And does Viola read it in the
Yes,
audiobook?
and from the opening chapter, I was hooked. It's very interesting to hear where she came from.
Yeah.
You really understand how she evolves into characters. She gives life advice. I got a new understanding and appreciation for my husband but she was talking about her husband.
Oh.
It was just enlightening. I would just take long drives just so I could listen to it in the car.
All right, I'm going to have to check that out.
It just occurred to me. You are the new Oprah.
Can I be?
You can be the new Oprah.
Yeah.
Well, then.
Give your suggestions.
Can you do this, please?
I would be, you know what? I would love to be like the Oprah in the kitchen, because here's the thing. I enjoy interviewing people and talking to people because I'm not a journalist. I'm just a fan. I'm not there for the, gotcha. What'd you say, Melissa? The people are listening. Like, I just want to cook. I just want to eat and laugh and have a good old time.
I feel like Oprah sometimes wants to make people cry a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah, but I want to go on her
She
show
wants to get
and
that emotion.
eat
She
and
wants to pull
talk.
the emotion.
That's what I'm saying.
She's
so
good
it's
at
like, it's a matter of just enjoying. So, okay, I am all about manifestation. We have released it into the atmosphere, and you can't take it back.
I'm not taking it back. I'm
No,
so excited.
I'm talking to the universe. The universe, you can't have it back.
No.
But no, because it's something people let their guard down when they're in the kitchen naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it like doing shows and interviewing different celebrities, they are real people. And the kitchen is where it's like, if they've never cooked before, it's like, I don't know, I'm a little nervous. I'm like, you just performed in Carnegie Hall in front of me, and you're nervous about cooking a lasagna? Are you? But it's
Lasagna is the one thing I can make. That's the one thing I can make, you guys. So, like, when you have a
love how
baby or something happens and I got to cook for you, I'm in that food train, you're getting a lasagna.
all right.
I can make a
When
lasagna.
I come to the house, I
That's
know what
the
I'm
only
getting.
thing. You're going to get lasagna. I usually have one in the freezer because I usually will make 2 or 3 at a time.
That's
I can
smart.
cook for 25 people, like a holiday meal, but I cannot cook for my family of 5. Like, I can go all out because I will want to get the china out, dessert, wine glasses, fancy crystal, the whole thing. Like, I go
Stick
for
to
it.
what you know. Your
But then it's
strengths.
exhausting and I don't do it again for a year.
And then you complain like, all this work I had to do. You kids don't understand.
Instead of just whipping up some, mac and cheese and putting it on a plate.
Oh, I need to add Viola Davis book.
Oh,
yes,
add Viola.
add
What's it
that
called?
to
What's
it.
the book called? Do you know?
Oh gosh, it's one
I bet her
word.
ear can tell you.
Google it. But no, her book
ear
was riveting. Even Will Smith's book, listening to it was very good.
Oh, I bought that for my son. I need to read that too. I wanted to
found
read that
myself
with him.
taking, because everybody we're all put on this earth to give enjoyment and it to other people. So whatever it is. So you're in acting, you're like whatever it is. For me, it's food. I get people to the table with my food and then we have a good old time. And
I wish I could
like,
do that.
I
I'm so
never
jealous.
want, you got lasagna. What are you talking about? Everybody's at the table.
That's all you get.
But it's like for me, I love to feed the soul. So you're never going to leave my table hungry or without saying, you know what, I think that was so profound.
I guess mine is I'll bring people together. Like I'll help you make a friend.
You bring people somehow, and if you're a comedian, you're here on this earth to make people enjoy something. So I kind of mimic my life to whatever person that I'm a fan of. So I mean, Will Smith, I don't know if I will ever be like one of the big box office movies, but I took notes on how he broke down the formula to become who he became in that time. So it was like, okay, there's a formula to everything. There's a recipe for everything in life. So I found myself taking notes of, that's what he did. Okay, how do I apply it to who I want to be? So
interesting.
That's how I break down people's lives in books. It's like, okay, how do I apply that to me? Okay, I can do that. So everybody's here to, whatever you're good at, your talent, your gift is to shine it towards somebody else in whatever shape or form that is. And everybody's got something. Yeah. And we're like, I don't know what to do. You got something. I don't know what it is. If you play the spoons, you be the best damn spoon player and make people laugh
I used
and
to be able
smile.
to do that. I want to do that.
You really have done everything. You really can. You did that in a movie one time.
I have no rhythm, but I can. No, maybe I
took a class once.
That's a class. I took a class once on spoons.
I had a coach that had taught me how to play the spoons. It's an acting coach. We did spoon playing.
Is there a favorite show you had as a teenager?
I was into that whole TGIF, the Urkel, and the Full House kind of era. I feel like, how old am I? Teenager. Degrassi.
Oh, okay.
I love Degrassi High. I remember A Different World.
Degrassi was really big. Was that really big in Canada? I think
it was shot in Canada, but it trickled down into the States.
Every actor I knew in Canada had been on Degrassi High. Funny. It's
really?
One of those things.
Wow. And then I'm kind of trying to think like the shows that you weren't supposed to watch. I think I was watching like Kids in the Hall. Remember HBO?
Oh, yeah.
Like those kind of things where you kind of sneak and watch the TV down low.
Yeah.
Like those.
Oh, I loved staying up late at night and watching Saturday Night Live. Like that was like such a thrill to watch that live. Was such a thrill. Like on Saturday nights when I got
Live. Friday night Night Tracks. Do you remember Night Tracks?
No.
The video show before there was an MTV.
I never heard of that.
It was Night Tracks. That's where you would see the B-52s. And
it was like old. Well, not. I guess they weren't old at the time. It was music videos and like
Boy George. I remember, and Cyndi Lauper. Like that's where I learned about art. But it was Night Tracks on a Friday night.
That's interesting. I was just telling a teenager recently about how they just don't have an appreciation for what MTV was when it started.
No idea.
And that used to just be, instead of like the radio on or something, you just be playing MTV in the house. That was basically the soundtrack to your home.
And you find
your
out
friends
the
come
top
over
videos and who's hot and what everybody's wearing. Like that's how we had to tune in. Now
I remember having friends over, just like, we'd be done skiing or something and everybody just come over, just like you just hanging on the floor, you take a nap, you grab some snacks, you're watching, you're not watching, you're kind of talking, but like it was just sort of always on in the background. There was such a thing.
But that was our relevant point of how we learned.
That was our TikTok.
That was our TikTok. Like, what do you do with your hair? Everybody's wearing neon stuff. You're tying up your shirts, and you got the one sock and your jumper hanging down one. Like, that's where we learned.
If you're you're watching Crisscross.
Yes, and you got a Band-Aid on your forehead. Like, why is everybody wearing a Band-Aid? Because Nelly did it.
But nobody wore the big clock around their neck, like right?
That was a
little too cumbersome.
No, but the big medallions and things.
Well, yeah.
Were very popular.
But I did have LL Cool J one time tell me that if I was going to be smart with my money, not to spend it on gold like he did. Like he had all the chains and stuff.
That shit's got to give you scoliosis. I don't know. It's a lot of you got to do some.
That's the thing. Oh, that's so awkward.
Nowadays,
awkward
his investment in gold is probably
really
paying off.
Yeah.
So is there a fast food joint you like? This is a good question for you. Is there somewhere like you're traveling you have to have?
Oh, yes, because everyone's, you're a chef. What does chefs eat?
Is it like a Big Mac? Is it something really simple?
No, it depends on what part of the country I'm in. West Coast, In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a Shake Shack girl. I like In-N-Out Burger.
I hate Shake Shack.
The burgers are too small. 3 bites and I'm like,
they're greasy. They don't fit in the bun.
Yeah. In-N-Out Burger. In the South, some point, somehow, I'm going to end up at Chick-fil-A. I don't know what they put in that chicken. It is holy chicken.
Yeah,
I don't
is.
know what they
I was
do in
hoping
that
you were
chicken.
going to say Milo's as an Alabama girl.
Milo's for the tea.
We get
Milo's for the burger.
no, Milo's.
There's always Milo's tea in my fridge, but that's about it.
Well, Southern girl, I feel like Milo's, because we put some more sugar in Milo's. You start with Milo's as the base, then you add about 3 more cups of sugar to that.
Yeah.
And
No, you
then-
got to mix the unsweet tea with the sweet tea. Like I can't have just
that's
the
the
sweet.
balance?
It's got to be a half and half.
Oh, no, girl. You get all the sugar in one time. All right.
then I
I'm
end up
going to
with a
give
headache.
you, all right, food. I'm going to give you a fun fact. One fast food joint that I would allow, if I were still dating, allow a guy to take me on for a date. Arby's.
Oh, I love Arby's.
I love
Really?
Arby's.
What
Oh
about
my
it?
gosh. The roast beef sandwich
Okay.
and the
You've
the
never
Arby's
had
sauce?
Arby's?
I have.
Okay, stop
have a
the tape.
problem-
We're going to Arby's right now.
Well,
You
here's
gotta go right
here's why I have a problem with Arby's roast beef sandwich, and it's only because every time my mom craved Arby's roast beef sandwich, she was pregnant, and that was 7 times. Well, I mean, obviously
Okay,
with
that's
me, I
a
didn't
lot
know.
of roast beef
But she'd always be
sandwiches,
like,
but-
"Ooh, I think we need to go to Arby's and get a roast beef sandwich," and we were like, "You're pregnant." Like that was like her crave.
Well, who needed an EPT? You just went to the roast beef sandwich.
Yep. We always knew. We were like, "Yep, there we go. She's pregnant again."
But yeah, that Arby, you get extra Arby sauce. And the
All
the
right, I
curly
don't know this.
fries,
We're
The
gonna have
beef
to
and
try
cheddar.
this.
That Velveeta on top.
That is the only place.
I'll make my
I
lasagna.
would
You
let a
take me
guy
to
taste.
Arby's.
Yes, and
will be our
I ask
weird
for extra
Instagram
Arby
post.
sauce, and I keep it in my purse because you never know that you can put that sauce on anything, girl.
What about the comeback sauce? Is that from? Is that Hattie B's? Who makes that comeback sauce?
That's-
Is that Chick-fil-A?
No, comeback sauce is kind of all over. I mean, they have it at Hugh Baby's now. I see that, but comeback
Now,
sauce.
see, all the
is
Yankees
kind of,
and West Coasters don't know what comeback sauce is, right?
Oh,
that's
it's-
sort of a very Southern thing.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's just a lot of mayo. You put some ketchup, spices. Sometimes you put Worcestershire sauce. Sometimes you put
Definitely
hot
want to
sauce.
dip your chicken in that, right?
Yes, it is the ultimate, but it's the ultimate sauce. You could dip your shrimp in it, your chicken, your fries. Like that is what.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the sauce that makes you keep coming back to. That's
You come
comeback
back to that sauce.
There you go. It's the ultimate sauce. You dip anything in that shit. Yes.
Is there a TV show you refuse to watch?
Use.
Like you're like, everybody likes that, I don't get it, or you're like, I started it and I can't finish it.
I can't pick up on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. I just feel like it is a giant show that everybody's gonna catch herpes by the end of it. Like everybody's
Or
making
gonorrhea.
out, like gonorrhea.
Exactly what
Boys
Mom
are-
warned you about.
Yes, that's the shit. Boys are dirty. Yeah, I'm just like, wait a minute. You just made out her and him. Like, I know that's how dating goes, but I just don't want to see.
Well, you got to
all
listen
of
to our
that.
episode from a few weeks ago with Caitlin Bristow because she was one of the Bachelor. She was on The Bachelor and then The Bachelorette, and she gave us some insight into like
Yeah.
feeling a little.
She really did
a little
have
yuck
to-
about it
Yeah,
too.
yeah, and I've talked to 2 former bachelorettes. I never made that herpes comment because I'm
Well, thank
starting
God.
any rumors. I'm not starting rumors. I don't know. I've never seen anyone's medical history. But all I'm saying is just, yeah, it's that's how dating works. But I don't like how
Yeah,
dating works.
that's
like
very
that.
modern
And
dating.
everybody's just being extra just to get some attention.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have to, like you said, television production moments.
But if I do watch dating shows, it's with my husband, and I'm like, see, you see what's out there? That could be you. Better
My favorite
you better
one,
stay right here with
Too
me.
hot to handle.
Oh gosh, everybody's
that?
just walking around and they just wait.
good.
Oh no.
The first season. Second season was like a little much.
But there's a sweet one, Love on the Spectrum. It's such a sweet one. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
I've had so
seen
many
that one.
people tell me recently that they loved it, and it opens up your mind to like a whole different perspective on love and how there's someone out there for everyone. It's a really sweet
That
one.
or Love Is Blind. I did watch that
Oh,
one.
yeah.
So yeah, it was nobody really making out. You just kind of talked.
Because you can't
Yeah,
see
there's
them.
a wall
Just
between
talk to
you.
the
Wall for but
Okay, so is there a movie?
another show.
Maybe you don't understand the hype of this movie.
Top Gun 1.
Oh my god.
I watched it and I was just like,
You and my husband both.
I don't
He
get
agrees.
it. But Top Gun 2 was fascinating.
Top Gun 2
So
is my
good.
favorite
loved
movie of
it.
the year.
But I'd never seen one, and I watched one. I was like, okay, let me make sure I'm not missing anything when I go see 2. And I was just sitting there like,
Is that the first time you've seen the first one?
that was the first, like a few months ago on Netflix, I watched the first one.
So
and I was
it's a
like,
little dated. The
well,
first
yeah, it's
one
the
is dated.
80s. It is.
But I have to say, that second one, I was excited to
So
see it. We
good.
almost named our second child Maverick because I was watching Top Gun when I was pregnant with my second kid, laying in bed, like had bronchitis, and Maverick and Top Gun's on. And I was like, I think we need to name our son Maverick. And he's like, no more M's, because we were Melissa, Mark, and Mason. So he's like, no more M's. But my son found out about that and started calling himself Maverick. So I always loved the movie. But again, it's very dated. The music and the romance
is.
of it,
And
the
I was
hair,
just
and all
like,
of it.
why
But
are they doing this to this lady? Like in this, yeah, I was just watching it. Like, this
second
is what
one
we were
is-
doing in the 80s. Like, this is the great movies. But
this was it.
second, well, oh gosh,
The second one was phenomenal.
Hit it in every.
I wish
sense
I
of
had
the word.
videotaped myself watching the movie because I held my husband's hand like a death grip. I'd throw my hands in the air when the plane goes overhead, like, woo! like as
feel
if
like
I'm
you're
like
on it,
on
like,
a roller
oh my
coaster.
gosh.
Yeah, I'm feeling the G-force.
And you're yelling at the screen like, pull up.
And then I'm like,
pull
no,
up.
wait, what about Rooster? Hold on. Yeah, I'm like, pull, wait, he's passing. I can't look.
And you're like
all that.
holding your breath.
Oh, it was
Question.
a lot.
Were you the only person confused watching it? Like, who was the lady? I had to Google in the middle of the movie, like,
She's
who
the
is
admiral's
she?
daughter.
I realized that
Yeah.
after I Googled, because I was like, this is not
She's actually
the lady.
mentioned in the first one, it turns out. There's a
She
little lore.
was,
Yeah.
and I remembered it after the fact. But I was like, who the hell is this lady? Let me.
Yeah, because you feel like there's a
Oh.
relationship there.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
was like, this is not the original.
He dated her
instructor.
before the first Top Gun, apparently.
Yeah, I realized that in
Pissed
the
off
middle
the
of
admiral.
movie. There we go. But yes, sometimes I just have to Google and
Yeah, what a good movie. God,
But
I
it
want
was
to go see that
outstanding.
again.
Yes, but I didn't understand the first one. I was like, okay, I'll
get that.
participate, but I don't get it.
I get it. I get that you don't get it. Is there a workout that you gave up on? Something you just hate to do?
Soul Cycle.
Oh, yeah? You just don't like spinning?
My booty it is not going to be supported by a little triangle of a cushion. It is just not. It's science. Nothing can explain it.
I feel like spinning is one of those things like running. You love it or you hate it.
Gosh.
Like, I love
took
spinning.
one class and she was like, all right, break. I ran out of that class so fast and never looked back. And my
I love it.
You were sore for days.
behind was on like you, and then you have to walk like nothing's happening, and it's like, oh God, this is the. Oh. Yeah, I don't get on bikes for that reason alone. I'll do any other workout, but I'm not.
All right.
I'm not pedaling. Don't do that. We're not doing that.
All right. So we'll do other things together. Not,
Please
not
do.
spin
And
class.
if you say let's go to cycle class, I'm gonna say sure, and you're gonna wait for me, and I'm never coming.
Good to know.
I'm never showing up.
Do you have a favorite genre of book?
Hmm.
Do you use cookbooks just out of curiosity?
Not really, but I never read the recipe. I read titles of recipes for inspiration because I never want, unless it's something that I've never cooked or I'm interested in how the breakdown of that actual technique, but I never want to like feel like I'm taking somebody else's idea.
Okay.
So I'll just read Szechuan something and I just start cooking it in my head how I would do it. But I've got the shelf of cookbooks. I still have my original culinary. I still have my original knife from culinary school.
Oh, wow.
Oh yes. Betty, she's still there with me, still chopping away. We've been there together for a long time. But yes, book. I love self-help books.
Okay.
I love that kind of, you can do it. I did it. Here's how you kind of do. And I love something that will break it down. 5 easy steps and how to become. Now, those 5 easy steps aren't really that easy and they never really come together. But I do enjoy seeing how other people's process unfolds. Yeah. So yeah, I want to feel like, hell yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
She did it. Why can't I do it? So yeah.
Do you like podcasts? Is there like a podcast you have on constantly?
I started listening to like murder mystery one because they have like the Snapped one. And because I will watch the show and then I start listening to the podcast too. And my husband gets really nervous. And I'm like, I'm not going to kill you. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, these are all women that did it wrong. If I'm trying to
smarter than that.
Yes, I am. I'm unfolding like what
You're
you
not
shouldn't
see
do.
me coming.
Exactly. I was like, you don't have to be nervous. I would never kill you like this. These people got caught. I would never do that. So I do enjoy a murder mystery podcast. And then I'm listening to one, I've been listening to it, Brown Ambition. It's financial investment type thing, entrepreneurship for women of color. Because once again, I want to have those conversations and I get an understanding, what do I need to break down to my child so that she's not in debt in college and credit cards. And because I see my daughter playing on games now, like ABC Mouse, you can shop on stuff. And she spent all her money. She looks little things.
Are you serious?
She's like, I'm going shopping. I'm like, you only have $16.
Oh, I get
What are
asked
you
all the
doing?
time, will you buy me this dinosaur on this game?
don't
And I look at it, it's
understand-
$99.
They don't understand the concept. They just think things magically appear.
Yeah.
And it's like, you ask for
You
it.
gotta work for it now.
Exactly. So I want to get an understanding for myself so then I can relay that to her. Like, $16 ain't going to take you far. That's what, 1 gallon of gas come next week.
Yeah, that's good. It's
So yes, I'm educating myself so I can educate the babies.
That's great.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah, and do it now because as they get older, things
They don't want to listen.
well, all of a sudden you'll be like, I don't have time for all this. Like, I'm trying to read all these books about how to help, my boys in school. There's something called I'm reading right now called The Crumpled Piece of Paper Was Due Last Week. It's basically about helping boys succeed in school. But I'm like 4 years too late to read this book a little bit. Like I feel like I should have. I needed the help. I need the help now, not
But there's grace for that. That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
where you fall off and someone else will jump in that space and save your kids. So because you can't be everything. You can't have every single conversation. But that's why God saves us, and someone will save your child.
That's true. Good point.
So yes, my baby will be potty trained by somebody. Now I don't know if it's going to be me because I'm still in chapter 3.
Bring grandma in or an aunt or something. Somebody will do it. You know what? You know who'll do it? Send them to ski school or to church camp or something. They will do it there.
Somebody's gonna get that back because I keep forgetting. I'm just like, oh crap, these diapers are kind of easy. They're expensive, but they're kind of easy. Okay, fine. Let's sit here together on this.
Yeah, that's a good one. School too. School time. They'll figure it out,
yes.
if they haven't figured it out by then. That's what I always said about pacifiers. I was always obsessed with pacifiers. I'm like, they're not going to take it to college. Like they're just not. They're not
We
going to
hope
want to do
not,
that.
but-
So if we get that far, they're just not going to take it to college. Don't worry.
Yeah, your son's gonna have it tucked in a secret drawer inside of his sock. Like,
Who needs braces? I know. Just a big hole in the middle.
my daughter holds hers like it's a cigarette on the side of her lip, and she'll talk to you and look down on you with that. And I'm like, don't you look at me with that pacifier in your mouth like that.
That's
like she uses that.
I love the pacifier.
Oh, gosh.
I had one that said
Just
mute
hanged it
button.
right there.
Like it's like a mute button, right? Stick that in the mouth. Do you have a favorite reading spot?
My closet.
Oh, really?
I have, and my closet isn't massive, but I have built it so that it is my sanctuary. It's got my clothes, it's got my wigs, it's got all my purses, it's got, and I have like a diffuser in there, so I have smells. And I just sit there, and I'm like, once the door's closed, don't bother mommy. Like that is my space. I can just sit because I'm surrounded. Like my clothes, I make friends with my clothes. I make friends with my purses. I mean, I might be a little crazy, but I talk to them.
Oh, no, I totally relate.
We are so together on things. Like you take care of your things. You talk to your plants. Why wouldn't I talk to my purse?
They all have a personality.
They should, and you give them that security. Like, okay, little purse, you stay with me.
I'm gonna keep
Let's
you
do this.
dusted.
There you go. These little shoes. Come on, you're gonna take me where I need to go today. Like that. I talk to. It's a comforting space.
I actually
for
do
me.
that when I leave like a hotel room or someplace I've been for a while. I'll be like, "Thank you for keeping me safe" or something. Like I'll do that.
So,
too.
so yes, go
Inanimate
talk to your clothes, your
objects.
favorite
Sacred
things.
spaces.
Like
My
talk to
closet
your
is-
wallet. Like you gonna stay full today. You're not going shopping today. You're gonna stay full.
I like that. Do you have your phone on you? Because we got to check your unread emails.
I don't have any.
You don't have any unread emails?
Let me tell you something. I'm such a nerd. Like email comes in.
I love
I am
you.
that person where it's like, because I don't like to make other people. I don't like to wait.
Wait, but
Like,
we have
I
the
want a
same manager.
response.
I know he's sent you at least 4 since we've been in here.
And I will, as soon as I leave here, I'm like, got it.
Yep.
Did it. Check it.
Oh, I'm
But
so-
like I don't, because it's so overwhelming to then look at all of the like, oh gosh, and then you don't want to do
you
it.
want to show her your phone, Amanda?
No, now I'm ashamed.
No, but you got to. It's like a block of
Close to
ice. You got to
7,000.
chip at it away piece by piece, or else you're gonna dread
Exactly.
it all together.
I
and
always
then you
have
keep
20.
avoiding.
I have 20 I can't get rid of.
Girl,
Yeah, I know. I told you.
But so here's the thing. It's not
scary.
that I don't read my emails.
and
I
wait,
do.
and it was like 100 missed calls. So you ain't talking to anybody.
100 missed calls?
Like, look how many missed calls. Yeah,
many of
I
those
know
are me?
not to talk to. Exactly. She's been ignoring everybody.
No, so I'm actually very communicative. I'm great at keeping up.
She actually is. She does respond quickly.
I am.
It's kind of weird.
I respond quickly unless I can't. Like I set boundaries though. Like if it's nighttime, it's on do not disturb. I'll get to you
That's
in the
crap. We
morning.
were talking last night at midnight.
Right, and I turned you off. And so the emails, I look through them all the time during the day. I read the ones that are important, and then the rest just stay there.
What are they doing? Just hanging out?
Just there.
They're just there because she hasn't gotten rid of. She has.
Okay.
She knows what they are technically, but
All
she
right.
hasn't.
How are you
deleted
with
them.
text message? Do you respond to text messages immediately, or does it take
Not-
some time?
No. Usually immediately. If I don't do it immediately, I'll forget about it.
See, that's
Yeah,
why
that's
I
me with
answer
text.
emails, because I'm like, I don't ever want to leave somebody hanging. 'Cause
Yeah.
I treat people, I'm like, if I'm answering her email immediately, then she's going to do the same thing for
Right.
me because I need this answer. So it mostly doesn't work like that, but I still like to
Mine
think
are usually
that.
things I need to get to. I need to get an address for somebody, or I need to read this script, or I have to handle the and I'm like,
And you
oh,
got to do it in
to
that
sign up for
moment.
that basketball team or something.
Exactly.
And I just
My
haven't
kid
done
would
it
be
yet.
naked. I forgot to wear the uniforms. I forgot to do this. So I have to chip at it
Yeah.
in that very second, or else.
See, that's why I always have a few. I always have. I'd like to keep it around 20 that I haven't read But I mean, I'd love to get to, I'm jealous that you can get to 0 because I'd love to get to 0, but 20 is about the lowest I think I've ever gotten. And it's usually, I try to keep it around 40. I think today I'm at like 160.
Oh my
just because
gosh.
I've got so many projects going on right now.
And I clean them out, but I will say your subject line better be interesting because I don't open things. I'm just like, that subject line looks, not doing that. That looks lame. I'm not even responding to that.
These
So
days,
I would
the
delete it out.
threads, like the threads that are so long. So I'm like directing a movie. I might be directing another movie. Like, so I've got all these built under all these different things, but it's like, there's locations we're looking at. There's actors we're thinking about. There's, so I've got all these that I'm like, oh, I haven't gotten to this. I haven't gotten to that. I haven't looked at this audition or I haven't. But they're a lot of the time under the same subject. And so I don't know. Sometimes there'll be like 20 within there that I have to go open up. It does feel good when I open that up and 20 are gone, but I've also got to read them all.
Once again, you need a sister wife.
I know.
You get that young girl. She can answer all them emails for you. See, it always
Full
comes back.
circle.
What you need.
It does.
Sister wife.
All right, so we got a this or that we got to get to. We got to ask you some.
Oh, there's more. Okay.
There's a little bit more.
Okay.
These are just funsies.
Unzies.
No,
And
there's
these
no real
socks
meat
are,
here.
my feet have never been so warm and
Cozy.
oh gosh, they are just
You got to
so
put
comforting.
you put a little Vicks Vapor Rub on the toenail, a little moisturizer on the rest of the foot. Sleep with that sucker on, and you will have. Well, I hear that it
Vapor rub on the toenail.
I've told you
I
this.
didn't know.
This is my secret.
Just hang it on the toenail.
Just
That's
put the
all
Vicks Vapor Rub on the toenail, and then put them in a sock like once a week. It'll keep the fungus away. Yeah, it keeps the toenails nice and healthy.
Okay,
nice and
'cause
healthy.
I do a little olive oil, and you.
Oh, that probably does it too.
Oh, those cracked up heels. Oh,
Yeah.
your foot feels like a little baby foot
Hey,
when you take
you
the
can
socks off.
sleep in socks. I'm not sure.
Only for the first hour. I usually peel them off in the middle of the night.
I would suffocate.
I also have my weighted blanket that's 20 pounds on top.
I
of me.
love that.
Oh no.
But I gotta kick all that off me at some point in the night,
Yeah, you know.
especially when the hot flashes come.
I was about to say it's hot in Nashville, honey. Okay, listen.
Okay.
You
This
will
or
wake
that?
up dehydrated.
Superman or Batman?
Superman.
Spray tan or tanning beds, but you're beautifully melanated, so you may not need that.
But no, I was actually Googling last week, thinking about a tanning bed because I don't like tan lines.
Mhm.
And I got some and I was like, if I go to tanning bed, would that work for a black girl to kind of even things out?
I would think
I don't
so.
know if, but I don't know how that works. In my mind, but I feel like then I'm
look at-
treating it like a steak. Then I'd be like a little too well done here.
Oh my God.
And I'd be medium well here. It all goes back
I got
to
the
food.
flip flop mark on my foot from the summer.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. So can you just stick your foot in the tanning bed? I
No,
don't know
because
how
it'll
that
all-
works.
the problem with that
picture.
The problem with that is because I have the line on there, I would have to do the opposite, right? Block out the part, and then because otherwise it'll all tan evenly in the
like
same
sunscreen
piece.
the
Sunscreen the part that's already
You
tan.
got to get the blue tape, the painter's tape.
yeah, painter's tape. There we go. That'll be lovely. Let's make sure you Instagram that, please.
Oh my gosh. Mascara or lipstick?
Mascara.
That's me. Chess or Scrabble?
Scrabble. I'm terrible at chess.
I don't even know how to play
I
chess.
don't. That's how terrible I am. I don't know how to play it either.
I love Scrabble though. Sand or snow?
Can I say both? Because I like them equally and I hate them equally. Because sand, it gets in the shoe and then you bring it back and it seems like it stays in the suitcase forever. But then snow is like, okay, this is, because she keeps talking about skiing and I'm like, shit, black lady ain't skiing. I ain't been out there. I'm not skiing on that
I like
shit.
the
It's too
mountains.
cold.
No snow.
I like them equally and I hate them equally the same. So a little
There
bit
you
of
go.
both.
All right. Twizzlers or red vines?
Okay. Y'all gonna throw me out. I don't like it. What's the point of a Twizzler? I feel like I'm chewing on a shoelace. What is the point
so
of
funny.
it?
That's how I feel about red vine.
I
like it. I like
what
the
is
Twizzler.
The point? Like
Red
I can
vines.
chew on a straw. I get the same emotion out of it. I don't
funny.
get it. I don't get it.
Okay, so what's your favorite candy?
The Snickers probably. Something chocolate or an M&M. M&M's probably. Yeah. And I got it hidden in my secret place.
Oh.
All around the house. I know. But then
I'm
when
gonna
you
do
run
that.
out of your stash, it's like, dang, I didn't replenish.
And it's
you-
nobody else's responsibility.
No, but then you send your husband to the Walgreens at 11:30. Say, go get me a bag of M&M's.
Facial hair or clean shaven?
For a man or
On a
woman?
man.
I mean, either way,
man.
however you like it.
Hormones are real. I'm just saying that beard will come in. A little bit of hair, but it's when it starts to grow back, it gets too scruffy. So you got to keep it at the right.
Yeah, it
the
can't
right
be long
length.
enough to go up my nose when we're kissing. That's
Yeah, and I don't want that scratchy beard.
No,
It's like this
pokey,
is not
no.
romantic. You know, you're just giving me a rash now.
now I'm worried about breaking out.
TV shows or movies?
TV shows. I don't know if my attention span all the time is long enough for some movies.
Plucked or threaded?
Eyebrows, I presume. Mustaches, I don't know. Plucking is not the best, so I will say threading then.
Oh,
Threading.
she's the first threading.
It's so
Besides me.
painful, though.
But I'm
But it's
weird. I
quick.
kind
It's
of
over.
enjoy a little bit of pain, though. I'm really weird like that. My husband's like, you like pain? I'm like, I think I do. It's kind of exhilarating. And then you get to brag on it like, pfft.
Look, what? It's no
That's
big
nothing.
deal.
That's nothing.
I mean, after you have kids, can't you take any amount
Oh,
of pain?
yes. Yeah.
My pain tolerance is like ridiculous now.
Like I was getting Botox and they wanted me to have some kind of numbing. I was like, no, just do it. Let's
Let's just get this over with.
Do it.
But
quick.
at the same time, I had C-sections. I didn't even push
I did
anything
too.
out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still say I'm a warrior. I don't care.
Well, my first one was like way too long pushing and then still a C-section.
That's what happened to me.
Do not recommend.
No.
The second one was a C-section, like planned ahead because twins.
Oh, well, yeah. You
That was like glorious. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
I'm so weird. I asked to induce labor for no particular reason. I think my parents were coming into town visiting, and my lovely Jamaican father said, "Am I going to meet a baby or not?" And I was like, well, damn, I guess I better get something out. And I told the doctor to induce me just because my father said,
No pressure.
Am I going to meet a baby? Me come all the way to California. Me need to meet a baby. I was like, well, damn, let's just get this out. So, yeah, don't induce labor just because that was not the best. That baby got stuck. And I was like, damn it, Dad.
I know.
why
I
did
tried to
get
induce with my first and my third, and those were the ones that caused
I was
me.
at like 40 in a day or something. I was like, shh, let's just get her out of there.
Yeah.
And
Now the
yeah.
Pitocin, I think, is like.
Yeah, you let
for
that
those
back.
ladies out there that haven't had a baby yet.
Yeah, let that
Pitocin,
baby
no.
bake. Don't just throw them out there.
I did the
for
things
no
like
reason.
with the
Let 'em
third
bake.
one, second and third, I did the like strip the membranes thing like that. But and like I ate spicy food and I got massages on my feet to hit the right, pressure points. I drank whatever kind of tea you're not supposed to drink
Oh,
when
you
you're
just went through
herbal tea.
all the internet.
I tried
You
everything.
did them all.
In LA, there's a place called I think Cactus or Coyote or something like that, and you're supposed to go eat their salad. And they have books, like journals, like very, very big books that you can sign and
my
say whether or not
gosh.
you had the baby after you ate that
The
salad.
things we do.
Vinegar, I think. Vinegar helps induce. But like I did the Pitocin with the first one, never again.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right, last one.
Yes.
What, Nirvana or Foo Fighters? Or what's your favorite band?
No, Nirvana.
Nirvana.
Nirvana for me.
Going with the original. I feel like it's like the original
Everyone loves
versus the reboot.
Nirvana.
Kind of.
I love that.
Yeah. It's a little bit
It's
of a
classic, though.
classic.
It is a classic.
It's classic.
Yeah.
Once again, the MTV days.
It's the 90s,
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, we remember those music videos. I mean, Foo Fighters have some fantastic. I love the Foo Fighters. I think now I would choose Foo Fighters just because I think the music's actually better. But
I mean, they're cool guys. I enjoy
Nirvana's
a
classic.
song or two, but Nirvana's classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, girl, are you?
sing all
I'll
this
make you a lasagna. You take me to Arby's. What do you say?
Extra Arby sauce. That's
Let's
what I
do
say.
it. Well, thanks for being here. This is so much fun.
We could do this all day.
I know we should. We should.
Well,
do it
she'll be
again.
back next week with our good friend.
Oh yeah, I'm coming to stare at Lieutenant Dan.
Dan.
Oh, come
yeah,
stare at
he's gonna call
Lieutenant Dan.
security on me because I'm just like, wait, you got real legs. I
He's
thought
like
you
the
didn't have
nicest
legs.
guy, though. He will love it.
Oh, but you two were amazing. I didn't know
you're
what
the best.
to expect, but I'm like, I got free socks.
You got some
These are free.
socks.
I'm taking them, right? My feet
Yeah,
are-
no, they're free. You take them. You take them. Just for spending
I
your
love
time
a
with us,
parting
we
gift.
appreciate it.
This was amazing.
Thank
All right,
you.
well, I'm coming to your next TED Talk, and I'm not famous, but I would love to come on your cooking life show.
Life. I'm going to entitle it "Life is like a bowl of soup."
There it is.
Bowl of soup.
So
I like it.
profound.
I
Yes.
like it.
It is profound.
Thanks, girl.
Never thought about soup like that again. But thank you. This was amazing. I had a great time.
So much fun. Thank you guys for joining us here at What Women Binge.
Can you do us a favor and give us an Apple Podcast review? It helps a lot.
Yeah, and while you're at it, you can follow What Women Binge on Instagram.
And follow me on Instagram at Amanda WWB.
If you like listening to the podcast, you would love seeing it. So you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/MelissaJoanHartOfficial for full episodes, bonus content, and so much more. What Women Binge is produced by Laugh-O-Gram Studios. Our wonderful theme song was written and produced by my cute husband, Mark Wilkerson. Video production by Matt Giesler and Jay Hawley. Audio by Matt Lott. Production assistant Jen Best. And she is the best. What Women Binge is distributed by Podcast Heat. For more information, visit podcastheat.com. Do you have a question or a comment or a topic you want to suggest for the show? Well, we are listening. Email us at wwbquestions@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.